Good evening and welcome to Rebels Radio. Latest interview tonight, joined by Neil Baker following the 1-0 victory at A.F.C. Hayes at the weekend. How are you, Neil?
Very well, John. Yourself?
Yeah, not bad. Let's start with the team selection on Saturday. Jake came in. What were the reasons behind that?
Yeah, we've not had much luck against A.F.C. Hayes in the past, and we don't often change our team for many sides, and we just felt that that we needed to be a little bit more solid, and we felt that by playing Jake on the left, he would tuck in a little bit more. A.F.C. Hayes go with a 4-3-3. They're very attacking, and we just felt that with Jake playing on the left, he'll tuck in that little bit more and almost give us a three in midfield, because Warren Harris gets on quite a bit. And we did it because we felt that A.F.C. Hayes had, they're dangerous, and that's the reason why we went with it.
And it did seem that there was a little bit of approach, particularly at things like set plays, Guy Hollis not getting forward for perhaps quite as many throws, also Guy Hollis paying particular close attention to Tony Mendy, and then at corners, A.F.C. Hayes left 3 up and Newell left 3 back. How much preparation and work did you go into containing A.F.C. Hayes?
Yeah, we've talked about it all week. As I said, we've said in the press that A.F.C. Hayes have been a bogey side for us, and I think John had mentioned that they're a little bit unorthodox in the way they play in the paper on Friday, and they are. They have a go at teams, and it is when you have a corner, they leave three players up, and that can cause problems. So we counteracted that. We left 4 back, so we knew that was going to happen. We just felt that that they had dangers and that we needed to be well aware of it. In the past we've been caught out. I think three times we played against A.F.C. Hayes, they've probably scored 4 goals on the break against us, and so we felt that we needed to sort of look after that, and yeah, you're right with Guy Hollis. We told him not to be going up to take the long throws, because then that got rid of a bit of our pace in the back line, and we felt that he needed to do a man-to-man job on Tony. As on his day, Tony's a very, very good player. He's lightning quick, and we knew he'd have a point to prove. So yeah, we thought very much about how we were going to play against A.F.C. Hayes, and to be fair, we sort of executed it really.
And you started very well, started at 100 miles an hour, got a really good start, lots of pressure, great ball from Jake Somerville, excellent flick from Johnny Dyer, and a good finish from Warren. Once again, 17 already this season.
Yeah, brilliant. The start was fantastic. When you've only had sort of like 38 hours between a really tough game away at Barton Rovers, we felt that we needed to start well. And in those types of games, you've got to try and get yourself in front. If you find yourself a goal down, it gives them something to hang on to and hold on to. And to be fair, by going 1-0 up, it meant that they had to come at us a little bit. I felt that we would actually go on and be a little bit more comfortable, because once you do break the deadlock, it can sometimes be a little bit easier. However, I don't think we really had our shooting boots on the day, and I think we missed some good chances. Their keeper made a few good saves. It could have been a bit more comfortable, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. It was a big 3 points for us.
Were you worried at any point?
I think you're always worried when when there's only a goal in it. Football can change in a couple of seconds. So as you're entering the last sort of few minutes of the game and you're only 1-0 up, there's always a chance that they can go and hit you on the break, or get a free kick, put it into the box and cause a melee, a bit like Daventry. And that can happen. So you're always a little bit uncomfortable at 1-0 or 2-1 or whatever it might be. But I felt we defended well on Saturday, and I thought we restricted them to 1 or 2 sort of shots from distance, but they didn't really hurt us.
No, they didn't work Jake that much at all, bar Mendy's free kick, which Jake saved well in the first half. Slough were dominan. It was just, as you say, didn't quite capitalise on the chances created.
Yeah, I think, absolutely. I think, on another day, we might have won the game 3 or 4-0, and that's not being disrespectful to A.F.C. Hayes. It was just the fact was we did have a number of chances, but as you say, I think we hit the crossbar twice. Eddie's had a couple of really good opportunities. Johnny Dyer has. We had chances, but it was just one of those days where it didn't quite happen. And to be fair, I felt after the first 15 minutes, we were never going to keep up that tempo the way we started. Especially after playing like we did on Thursday night. So I felt that the lads did get a little bit leggy. And that probably had a bit of a bearing on the performance.
And you brought Jake Parsons off at half time. Was he injured?
No. Well, we felt that at 1-0 that by bringing Dobbo on, we would give ourselves a little bit more going forward. Jake's obviously not 100% fit still. He's had a tough season in terms of injuries and things like that. So from our point of view, I mean, we massively rate Jake. We think he's a great player. He can play obviously left, right hand side. Also think he can play centrally as well. We haven't had the opportunity to play him centrally, but feel that he could definitely do a job for us there. So we, hopefully he'll get a decent pre-season under his belt. But no, we just felt that that it was probably the right decision to bring Dobbo on at half time, and he'd just give us that little bit more going forward. In the end, it didn't sort of pan out that way because we didn't score any more. But at the end of the day, we won the game.
And who were your strong performers over that 90 minutes?
Yeah, I thought I mentioned it on the club on the Slough forum. I thought Jamie McClurg was excellent. One thing with Jamie is he will work his socks off. He won't give up. He's an absolute born winner. Sometimes you can get frustrated with him. Because there'll be a 5-yard pass or a 10-yard pass, and he might overplay it, or he might give the ball away, but. You just have to take that on the chin because he gives you so much in the side, and he's an absolute, he's such an important person in our changing room, and the lads absolutely love him to bits. And I thought he was brilliant. I thought his work rate was absolute top draw. But I thought Guy and Woos again, they done very well. They were very solid, and the two fullbacks again. I mean, there was a number of good performances, to be honest, but. I just felt that, obviously having had the Barton game on the Thursday night, we just lacked just that little bit in the legs, I think.
Any injury news or any? Was it just a question of tired legs towards the end? Obviously, Johnny Dyer came off. He got involved in a heavy clash with the keeper. And is there any injuries to report at the moment? Are we clean bill of health for most people? Yeah,
no real injuries. To say Johnny had a bit of a whack, but to be honest, Johnny was absolutely knackered. He'd run himself into the ground, and I think we were just about to make that substitution anyway. So it wasn't the fact that he'd been down injured with the clash on the keeper. Just felt that we needed to get Adam on and get some fresh legs on. I thought Adam done well actually when he come on. Thought he held it up well and he battled well. And Warren as well. Warren just come off with a bit of cramp. I think it was the last 2 or 3 minutes. Again, he'd run himself into the ground. Over the 2 games, and it was just nice to be able to bring some fresh legs on in Dan Sinton.
And so, what are your plans for this week? Bearing in mind they've had 2 tough games, have you got them in training tomorrow?
No, we've been sort of looking after them, recently, and sort of. Doing what we feel we need to do. They won't train tomorrow night, Tuesday. We've got 4 lads that are actually getting games elsewhere. Gareth Risbridger and Adam Cornell will both play for Binfield. Jake Parsons for Flackwell Heath, and Steve Duff and Seb Costello will play for Badshot Leeds. So they'll all get some minutes under their belt. The rest, who are the ones who have predominantly been doing the 90 minutes, they'll have tomorrow night off, and then we'll all get together on Thursday and train. With Saturday's game in mind.
Other results in the league on Saturday didn't really go your well. The only interesting one really was rugby, who once again dropped 2 points, led you to second in the league as we do this on goal difference. Obviously got them in a couple of weeks. What do you make of their recent turn in form?
Yeah, I mean, they've hit a bit of a sticky patch at the moment. Rugby, I think they were probably most people's favourites to sort of win the league. I felt probably about a month ago that they would go on and do that. But they've sort of dropped a number of points. I mean, I think at one stage they were 17 points clear of us. So the fact that we've clawed back that amount of points is a testament to the run that we're on, but also shows that they have struggled in recent weeks. Now, whether that's down to injuries, whether it's down to a little bit of pressure, I don't know. It's one of those. But at the end of the day, they're a very strong side. So I'm sure that they'll come out of it and have a good end to the season. Obviously, we've got a massive game against them next week, but we've got Ashford Town before that, so not too worried about that at the moment.
And looking forward to the rest of this week. Obviously on Friday there's Adam Fowler's quiz night. I see you've got your children's encyclopedia out doing a bit of research.
Yeah, absolutely.
Are you taking a team down?
Yeah, we'll have a bit of a management team. It'll be 5 or 6 of us in our side, and I think Fowler's going to be putting a players team together as well. So yeah, we'll look forward to that. I'm not necessarily the brightest person in the world when it comes to general knowledge, but I'll have a good go. But I'm pretty sure. I think we've got Super Kev in our side, so I'm sure he's an absolute fountain of knowledge.
Brilliant. Well, thank you very much for your time, Neil. Look forward, as ever, as many of you get down there as Friday as possible, and we'll see you on Saturday.
Lovely job. Thank you.